The WWE Universe is reeling after devastating news. Seth Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah and one of wrestling's brightest stars, has passed away under circumstances that have left fans, performers, and the entire industry in shock. What makes this tragedy even more painful is that it appears much of it could have been prevented. This isn't just a loss for the ring, it's a loss for family, friends, and the wrestling community at large. The fatal night. When things went wrong. The fateful episode of WWE Raw began like any other, with high energy, pyrotechnics, and anticipation for the evening's matches. But what unfolded was far from ordinary. During a high-risk maneuver, Seth sustained a serious neck injury. Normally, his skill and experience would have made the move safe, but several preventable factors turned it catastrophic. Reports from backstage reveal that safety protocols were not fully in place. Medical personnel were not optimally positioned, some ring equipment had been compromised from prior matches, and critical safety gear was either too far away or improperly arranged. Seth had even voiced his concerns before the match, warning that certain spots felt unsafe given the conditions, but those concerns were ignored to maintain the flow of the show. Becky Lynch. Witness to a nightmare. Perhaps the most heart-wrenching aspect of the tragedy was Becky Lynch, Seth's wife and a superstar in her own right. She was backstage during the match and witnessed the emergency unfold in real time. Instead of preparing for a planned celebratory segment marking their anniversary, Becky found herself rushing to the ring, desperately seeking answers. Her raw emotion, grief, and determination to support her husband in the moment were a stark reminder of the human cost behind the spectacle of wrestling. The immediate aftermath, chaos and response. The injury quickly escalated. Seth's body went into shock, and although medical personnel responded swiftly, the very oversight Seth had warned about hampered their efforts. Equipment that should have been within reach was not, and staff were distracted by other responsibilities, delaying critical intervention. Backstage and fan reactions were instant and intense. The crowd was shocked, social media erupted, and wrestling insiders expressed outrage over the preventable nature of the incident. It became clear that this tragedy was not simply a freak accident, it was the result of corporate negligence and outdated safety protocols. Industry-wide grief and support. The wrestling world responded immediately. Roman Reigns, Seth's longtime friend and Shield brother, delivered an emotional tribute, praising Seth's mentorship, dedication, and inspiration. Dean Ambrose, despite his past departures from WWE, returned to support Becky and honour their fallen Shield brother. Across promotions, wrestlers from WWE, AEW, and independent circuits shared memories and condolences, highlighting the deep personal connections behind the scripted rivalries. Exposing systemic problems. Seth's death has also cast a spotlight on long-standing issues within WWE. Multiple sources confirmed that he had been managing lingering injuries with limited medical intervention. Safety measures and protocols had not been updated in years, despite the increased athleticism and high-risk maneuvers of modern wrestling. Other performers have reportedly expressed concerns for months, but remained silent out of fear. Seth, unfortunately, was brave enough to speak up, and it still wasn't enough. Financial and legal implications. The tragedy also has financial and legal dimensions. Reports indicate that WWE's stock price rose in the days following Seth's death due to fan engagement and storyline speculation. A bitter reminder of how business interests can conflict with human cost. Becky Lynch faces the dual challenge of grieving while managing the financial and emotional impact of losing Seth. Legal action is being considered, which could expose further failures in safety standards and corporate responsibility. Legacy beyond the ring. Seth Rollins' legacy goes far beyond his championships or memorable matches. He was a mentor, friend, and advocate for wrestler safety. In his honor, Becky Lynch has launched the Seth Rollins Safety Foundation, focused on improving industry safety standards, funding medical care, and supporting performers. His passing has sparked an urgent conversation about athlete welfare that the industry had long avoided. Lessons and the road ahead. While the WWE Universe mourns, there is hope that meaningful change will follow. Seth's tragedy has highlighted the importance of updated safety protocols, adequate medical coverage, and corporate accountability. The wrestling world has a responsibility to protect its performers, ensuring that the sacrifices they make for entertainment do not result in preventable loss. Seth Rollins' passing is a sobering reminder of the human lives behind the spectacle. His legacy will live on in the improvements made to protect wrestlers, in the foundation Becky has established, and in the countless performers inspired by his courage and dedication. Remembering a legend. Though the wrestling world will never be the same without Seth Rollins, his influence endures. Fans, colleagues, and future generations of wrestlers will carry forward his passion, his fight for safety, and his commitment to excellence. In honouring his memory, the industry can ensure that his death was not in vain, transforming grief into lasting progress.